What's up, everybody? It's your man, Governor Wildstar, here with a quick exclusive to chat with my man, Marcus Ruiz Evans, who is in the house as well in the building, to talk about institutional racism. We were sitting back talking about it ourselves and decided to bring that chat to you guys and get you all involved in it because it's a lot going on in our country right now. And with this new administration taking office in the White House, we have seen what they've done, or what he has done, really, Biden, by signing all of these executive orders and what they produced, especially after all of the demands of we the people that supported his campaign when he was championing to become president. So now that he is, what are we going to do about it? You know, especially all of those promises. You know, Yeshua says, "Good afternoon, good afternoon to you, brother, man. You got to come through and chat with us, man. Come through and chill. We got to get you on for sure." Linda Jones, what's up? Welcome. Thank you very much for being here as well. Y'all have too much fun. Definitely. Yeah. Whenever we get together, we make it a wonderful time.
It's a good time. It's a lot of fun.
And thank you all for being a part of it. Absolutely. So pretty much. What do you want to
Well,
start?
it's just, we were getting into the conversation, and I was here to drop off your gift, as you are now YesCalifornia.
There we go.
Board member.
Yeah, right there. Look at that. That's me right there. Nickolas Wildstar is down with YesCalifornia.
He's a YesCalifornia Board of Directors. And we're getting everyone a shirt. Here's your shirt.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I was looking for that. Yeah, so next time you guys see me on, I'll be sporting this, right?
Yeah, see? So we're getting those shirts out to everybody. I will get you the invite, Yeshua. The YesCalifornia Board of Directors meetings are Sunday at 11, and they are open to the public. Anybody can watch. At 1 p.m., we allow comments from the public. So 11, you can watch. 1 p.m., you can join in. I'll get you that information, and we want everybody to go. Greetings, Uganda.
Yeah, thank you very much, Uganda, for being here as well. Appreciate you being part of this conversation. We just talking about some things that are going on over here in America with our new president and supposed representative, because he's not much of a representative so far. He seems to be representing the same people that Trump was supposed to get out of Washington. The swamp. The swamp is running deep again, and he got some new swamp rats that he has introduced to the White House. So we wanted to talk about their roles, including his and his vice president, who is a swamp rat herself. We can talk about what she's done as Attorney General and Senator here in the state of California all day. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about the subject too much, according to too many folks. Yeah, definitely. No, I mean, if I come and hang you over, yeah, for sure. Definitely come through. That is great. Well done, Nickolas Wildstar. I appreciate it, brother, man. Miswaggy.
Miswaggy.
All right. Joe won't take your gun. Please. He is going to take our gun. He's trying to take our guns. Yeshua said he'll bring some flowers. All right, cool. We got to roll something up here anyway for our conversation.
Yeah, let's have a talk. And Yeshua, give me a call. I'll give Nick, ask Nick to give you my email. Let's chat some more. Maybe you'd want to be on the YesCA Board of Directors.
Yeah, no, that's TJ, bro.
Oh,
yeah.
TJ already is on.
Come and get your shirt, man. Bring the flowers.
Yeah.
Come chat with us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Let's do this.
Well, so that was the topic, was that we were talking about getting the YesCalifornia Board of Directors up, some of the opposition I was running into, and how it reflects on the choices America picked. It's the year 2020, right? And we talked about this. You have Donald Trump, and then you have Joe Biden. And one of them tells African American people, if you don't vote for me, you quotes ain't black. He will also have a webinar with key civil rights leaders where they say, please don't hire this racist guy on your staff who got rid of an Obama appointee. He's seen as a outright racist. And Joe Biden says, I'll pick whoever I want and then hires this racist. So that's now done now, I think you were saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so he did point him. And Biden told the top leaders of civil rights in America, if you don't like who I pick, to hell with you.
Pretty much.
Oh, he literally said to hell with you. Literally quotes, to hell with you. Looking at the top 5 civil rights leaders in America, literally said that, literally on this topic, word for word. Those were leaked WebEx conversations that he had. He hasn't apologized for that or said anything like, hey, that wasn't the right call. So he just said it. Nobody contradicted him. He didn't do anything about it. That's Biden. Right. And he also has groped a lot of women. We've all seen that. He also has credible rape accusations. He also invented the policy of putting Latino kids in cages.
Right.
He also had the most deportation of Latinos ever. And he also told a Latino who asked him about his deportation stance, vote for Trump. Literally said that to his face. So
don't forget the crime bill.
And then he did the crime bill that put a lot of Latinos and African Americans in prison, ruined their lives. Now seen as a mistake, but he did that and that's okay.
Exactly.
So that's Biden, right? And that's supposed to be the resolution or better choice than Donald Trump, who's an old white male who says racist, offensive things to Latinos and other minorities, who has groped many women, who has credible rape accusations, who's done horrible things to minorities in his past. And so I think you and I were both going, what's the difference?
Exactly.
Old white man pops off at minorities, gropes women, and did horrible racist stuff in his past versus old white man who pops off at minorities, gropes women, has credible rape accusations, and did horrible racist stuff in the past. And it's the year 2020. And this is the best that America can offer.
2021 now.
2021. And this is the best that America has.
Yep.
Like old racist white guy versus old racist white guy who has a history of groping and not treating women correctly. And this is the way better option than Donald Trump. And this is all America has to offer.
And I was just pretty much saying to him that the difference between Trump and Biden is more digestible. You know what I'm saying? He's more easy on the stomach, easier to swallow than Trump that was just shoving it down people's throats, you know? So it's just a difference in personality, but no different in policy at all. No policy changes. He hasn't done anything to end the incarceration of children, even though he just signed an executive order that was, I guess, directed to ending private prisons in the United States. But that doesn't include ICE facilities, which are private, you know. We definitely got to look at what he's done so far. And of course, with police reform, he hasn't done anything about qualified immunity, hasn't done anything about imposing any, liability insurance on officers or anything like that to reduce the amount of excessive force that has been used historically and on the record. But what are we going to do? We got to hold these people accountable. Let Joe stop America from stealing the world. They use visa fee to rob many applicants. You apply, and when you fail to get the visa, no refund. Billions have been stolen from us by USA. Oh, I know. I tell people all the time, they talk about, why don't they do it the right way when they want to come here and become a citizen? I'm like, do you even know how the process works? Some of the application processes takes years, okay? And then they charge you obscene amounts of money over that entire time, thousands of dollars, which most people can't afford, you know what I mean? And it's the fucking government, One hand don't know what the other is doing. It's so compartmentalized that they don't even, rely on their own system to actually work. But we're expected to, imagine the DMV being in charge of our visa process. You know, that's exactly what it is. Okay. Imagine that. So if you are against immigrants and, people coming here, whatever the case, and say, oh, they need to do it the right way, check it out. What my man is saying here, right here. They're stealing money. Our state representatives are stealing people's money, and they're making a business out of it, unfortunately. And we're sponsoring that by allowing them to continue to stay in power. Biden is a macro evolution believing old man. He believes science proves whites are superior.
That's what I'm wondering. Honestly, that's what I'm wondering, because he yelled at a Latino on the campaign trail who asked about his immigration stance, which is legitimate, and he said, vote for Trump. Then an African-American radio host had wanted to ask him a few questions about his candidacy, and he said, if you ain't black, right to his face if you do that. Now we see Biden, as elected, has put an appointment in who is a known racist to the African-American community over the opposition of civil rights leaders, where he told them, to hell with you if you don't like it. And then now I'm hearing, and I didn't even thank you, True California.
Hey.
He's getting rid of private prisons, but the worst prisons for undocumented immigrants were the private ones. The Adelanto private prison for undocumented immigrants had people killed. So Biden is letting go the worst, most murderous form of prisons for Latinos in America, while saying, hey, I appointed a Latino. So Becerra. So interesting that he insulted Latinos, insulted African Americans, and then within days of his appointment, appoints racist people African Americans don't like, and makes sure that the worst forms of criminal behavior against Latino immigrants are allowed to continue. And yet he's supposed to be different than Trump. This is my thesis. Obviously, not all old Caucasian males, not old men who are old and white, are bad. Bart Gilbert was an old white man who basically got me going in the Cal-Exit movement. He's the one that taught me and Lewis how to even file initiatives. Initiatives was the main thing we did. So if it wasn't for Bart Gilbert, I wouldn't be here. There was another guy named Mike. There was another guy named David. So there were old white males who were pivotal in me becoming the man and the leader that I am, and believed in this, and I love them, and I wouldn't be here without them. But then there's other old Caucasian males who seem to be still stuck in the 1960s.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm a man, I don't need to listen to any woman, and I'm certainly not going to listen to some minority who's younger than me act like he calls the shots. So not going to put up with it. And that's when you were like, that's why Obama had to be perfectly behaved every single day.
Exactly.
Because he could never raise his voice. He could never be angry. That would be unforgivable to an old white man. Some old white males. Want to be very clear. Feinstein, Wonderman,
white majority.
Gilbert, I love you guys. You're great. Yeah. We're talking about some, and I want to be specific, but that's the issue, is that I was complaining about how the moment I launched the board of directors for Yes California, a lot of people joined, a lot of activity, and a lot of criticism. Thank you, which is fine. People were going, "Hey, I don't like this. You should change that." Great. And then there were other people who needed to yell, who needed to curse, who needed to call me out specifically and be as harsh and point it directly as possible at me. There's a lot of people who criticize things that I do, criticize the board, and that's great. Call me out. I don't deal with people who are like soft and go, I don't want to offend you. No, I talked to Christine. She's like, you're messing up on this, this, and that, and you need to make these fixes. She's blunt. Love it. And then there's some other people who yell and call names and are as aggressive and mean and angry and directed and focused on you're garbage and you're nothing to me. And they do it in a phone call, and they don't do it in front of everybody else. And every single one of those people who's treated me that way, which is about less than 7% of the total amount of everybody I deal with. And it's less than half of all the old white males. So I want to be very clear. Less than half of the old white males I deal with, less than a small percentage of the people I deal with. We're talking about a special group. No, it's not everybody. I'm not, you know me. If you know me, I don't do that. I love you, Bart, Feinstein. Many of you were pivotal. Couldn't be here without you. Love you. Not talk about you. But then there are some people who yell and curse and are angry and have to direct the energy at you and have to belittle you and act like, how dare you? And I've noticed that the moment I launched this board of directors,
that's the white
or
majority.
president, boom,
Yeah.
5 of them came out of the woodwork, and it was attack on attack, 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 destroy, be angry, get up in my face. Every single one of them, white, Caucasian, old, not young, not minority, not female. I have many Caucasian friends under 50. Love it. These people ain't that. There's something about being a old, in your 60s, pushing 60-ish, white male, where although you are 7% of the group that I deal with, all of these super angry, need to knock you down, you ain't shit, you're not in charge, I ain't taking orders from you, let me tell you how it is, attitude people, over the top, all that one group. Why is that? What an incredible chance coincidence that, you know, there's no old Latinos, there's no young white males, there's no old white females, there's no young or old or female African Americans, Arabs, Latinos, Asians that ever do that. Why is it this one group that does this? And it's both within some of the organizations that have members that don't like me, and it's with some of the people who confronted me. They're always this exact same demographic.
Yeah.
Why is that? And why is it the moment that I launched the board and say I'm president that this, wow, oh my, they are pissed. Why is that?
I think it's a fear of them losing their power of authority, you know, or their own manifest destiny. They're right to that because they don't see it as being a level playing field, or it being in abundance to where you can be equal in his power or, you know, greater than, but that isn't a threat to me, you know, and vice versa. But for some reason, to that group that you're talking about, they see it as, again, being a threat on their existence. And to some degree, there's something that we have to, I guess, a role that we have to accept in playing in that is because we've been condoning it, you know, including those white people who know that as well and haven't done enough to fight against that, you know, because that's the reason why these racial prejudices have continued to exist despite the civil rights movement, despite the Million Man marches, despite all of our protests and marches and legislative changes. These racial relations that still exist haven't been rid of or haven't truly been addressed. And I think that's because those type of subtle prejudices get ignored, you know, nor are they known how to deal with that, you know. How do you deal with that legislatively? I don't think that's a possibility. I just see this trap. Gonna have to explain.
And Yeshuan, you're not who I'm talking about.
Wildstar, kudos.
that's thank you, Yeshuan. You are an old, pale brother, and I love you. You're not who I'm talking about at all. At all. And I hope I'm saying that right. I don't mean every single old white male. Some. And I know, Yeshuan, you're not like that at all. I met you. You're awesome. Just like Bart Gilbert. Just like many other people that I've met. But the question is, young white males under 50 don't do this. African American people, old, young, or female, I've never met doing this. Latinos, old, young, female, I've never met doing this. Asians, old, young, female, I've never met doing this. Muslims, old, young, female, I've never doing this. Old white females, I don't see doing this. It is always one specific demographic group, an old white male. Why is it that the people who think it's okay to yell and curse and be angry and demeaning at an extreme level all come from this one specific demographic group that represents no more than 8% of the total population of California.
Yeah.
Why?
Tell me what you got, Yeshua. I'd like to hear what you have to say. And of course, all of you viewers out there, if you want to chime in on the conversation, please feel free to drop a comment wherever you're watching on YouTube, Facebook. Share this chat because we want to get down to the bottom of this institutional racism in our country. It does exist. As much as you people are, there are some people want to be in denial of it and brush it off. That's not going to help anything. That's not going to help us be able to properly address the issue and come up with a solution that makes us all happy, you know, including that small group that is in fear of becoming inferior. So
yeah, and it affects everybody running for office, right? You always have to be on your top behavior all
absolutely.
the time. And as you were telling me, you're like, look, I started cursing in one show, and someone's like, don't do that. You're running for office, and you go, whoa, I've seen other people do this and run for office, and I think they go literally,
like you're not a president that speaks that way.
Yeah, and what was the answer? You're not an old rich white man.
Rich white guy.
That was literally what they said to you, right? They go, you better watch it because you're not an old rich white guy.
Justify when this is an old rich white guy.
Why is that okay?
They can be crass, they can be vulgar, they can be profane, they can be disrespectful, they can be honest, bluntly honest, and nobody shrugs their shoulder at that. If anything, they're patted on the back.
If Barack Obama went on an African-American radio show and said, you better vote for me or you ain't black, you would have heard about it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
If Barack Obama told a Latino who asked him about his policies, go ahead and vote for Trump, that would be it in the Latino community. They would have nothing to do with Obama. You would have heard about it left and right. It would have been, this guy's a total racist. My God, if Trump had said that.
Exactly.
It would have been over. Biden says it. I have to remind people he did that. Why does an old white male get to insult Latinos and African Americans and civil rights leaders and promote racists and get Latinos' names wrong when he appoints them, and credible rape threats, groping women, did racist things, put many minorities in thing, and he's the good one because he's not Trump.
Right.
And then I see old white males here in California, not all, some, have similar sorts of attitudes. Why is it that this one particular demographic group or some members, not all, think they can get away with this? And why do we as minorities allow them to?
But you do have some of the younger white males.
Of course. Many of them are
Western Europeans to say that they...
Jason, John, love you guys. Matt.
No, I'm saying on the flip side that are also supportive of saying that they're being diminished in a political scene. In schools, you know, it's argued about, I guess, diversity education and stuff like that, or in the workplace, which I guess is optional, that sort of a thing. So it's like it's becoming generational and it's rubbing off on the next generation. And that's really the far right extremists, you know, that the people that are still backing the, what is it? I was about to say the president, but he's not the president anymore. Trump, still backing him and are jumping on board with, you know, creating this new political party for him. If the, you know, since the Republican Party seems to be defunct now, but
it is. I will say this, if I may.
Yeah.
If I may. There is racism or discrimination against white people by minorities. It happens. There is a tolerance for saying that it's okay to talk bad about all white people, or you will see minorities go on TV and say, all white people are white people this, and they're not called out, when that's slander. I hope you see that I said some and a specific group, and I listed the specific behaviors. I didn't say all. Yes, there are some minorities who go on TV and say all. And yes, white faces is still acceptable. Why is that okay when we're saying black face isn't? And I get that. And I think that we need to, especially as Californians, say all discrimination and all blanket statements of all ethnic groups is wrong, and I stand for that, and that's wrong. And I also think that's how we separate the white supremacists from the white people who are just like, hey, that's not cool. Because if we don't, then the white supremacists are going to say, see, they're taking everything away from you. Right. And so I want to be pro-diversity, and that definitely means no discrimination against Caucasian people, no whiteface, no saying all white people, no generalizations about white people. We need to knock that off, or you are going to create more alt-right white supremacists. I'm telling you.
Right.
I just need to get that out of the way. Sorry.
Because it feeds into that fear, because they immediately become defensive, say, I'm not that. And even if I was that, isn't that okay? I've seen this video where I think it was in Florida or some shit like that, where it was a white lady calling these workers, construction workers, the N-word.
Yeah.
And the reporter interviewed her and said, do you think it was okay? What's going on here? Oh, wow.
Craft services are the best at the studio sets here. Best craft services any studio has been on par.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. I mean, where else do you have a serious conversation about institutional racism and get a delectable selection? You got to come in more. You got to come in more. Come in more to this.
Hey, Lady Wildstar.
See?
For sure.
Are too cute.
Thank you, love.
You're looking at all your food and craft service needs. Think no further than Wildstar Productions. Get wild.
Exactly. Go wild.
Go wild. Go wild.
Absolutely.
Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to drop fruit.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay.
All right, you guys. So we were gonna keep this conversation short. Of course, we could go on here forever. Yeshua says huge amounts of Mexicans. I have more trouble arguing with them about Trump than whites because they played the "I'm a minority" card. Yeah, you're right. Hi, Crystal. All
Call
right,
them vendidos.
Pass that on.
TJ, call them vendidos. Vendido.
TJ
They won't
says
like
hello.
Oh, someone said hi.
And tell them Marcus Ruiz Evans said you're a vendido.
All right.
Uncle Tom.
What's that?
Spanish is the Spanish word for that.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It means store sold out and has no more products to sell. Sell out.
Oh, wow.
So it's been brutalized as vendido. Kamala Harris, una vendida. I think you get what I'm saying.
Right. Well, hey, like I said, we definitely could talk about this more, and we definitely need to. And hopefully we can start that conversation and get down to the bottom of it. But first, we have to be willing to hear each other out and each other's point of view and be respectful of that, not demand that they have to think a certain way. And that's really what's tending to happen right now in our political scene, is whether it's on the right or the left or whatever the case may be, is you must agree and you got to fall in line with exactly what they're proposing and their ideas, or you don't belong. And it shouldn't be that way. I mean, America, we're all different people. We're not monolithic who we are. The only thing that should bring us together as individuals is our love for freedom, and liberty and justice for all, the founding principles that this country was, created on. So please check out my man, Marcus Ruiz Evans, or
you got it.
Marcus Ruiz Evans at YesCalifornia.org. You can see it right there at the bottom of the screen. Please be sure to print out that petition, sign that petition, and send that in, okay? Is to, again, explore California independence, and that's what we want to do. Get away from this guy right here, Gavin Newsom. You guys know what to do. Head on over to the website, recallgavin2020.com. Print out that petition, sign it, and send it in. because we got to get involved in what's going on in our community. You know, we can't depend on the elected officials and powers that be to improve our livelihoods and the state of the union. You know, it's up to us, we the people.
Yeah.
So we got to take it into our own hands. And at this point, please definitely, like I said, do all that you can to get involved in both the Cal Exit movement as well as the recall movement and my campaign for governor. Of course, please definitely head on over to my website, Wildstar2022.com. Make a donation, $22 for 2022. Yeah, we got to get used to that. 2021 and 2022.
It's tough.
I mean, it's right around the corner, though. I mean, we got to take it one day at a time. We got a lot of work to do here in 2021, but that sets us on the path for 2022. And with this pandemic and all of the restrictions on our freedoms and liberties tending to roll over year after year, when does it end? When does it stop? The, massive taxation and incarceration. When does it stop? We got to bring it to an end, and it's up to us. So please get involved. As I said, in all of these efforts, community efforts in the state of California, or wherever you are, my man out there in Uganda chiming in, I appreciate you for dropping comments and being a part of this conversation as well. Yeshua says Trump bragged about how there were 150 vaccines in federal
vacancies.
Judicial. Oh,
I thought it said vaccines too.
In the federal judicial branch when he took office. Why? That's a good question. Yes, everyone in here, recall him. Absolutely, Carlos. Let me put that up there a little bit longer. Please, recall Newsom. Get him out, get me in. Obama was blocked from appointing judges toward the end of his term, even at the Supreme Court level. Right. Hold these people accountable. 4 years later, Ruth dies. When she died, mail-in votes had already been cast, and yet Trump got to add another justice? Yeah, good question. Let's keep asking these questions, people. Kill a real nigga up in the house. What's up, my man? Brother in the house. I appreciate you for jumping in and checking out this conversation. We still live in the land of just us. At the very top, Biden complicit to poison hidden in the food. Absolutely. We don't want to poison ourselves. We want to eat good food, keep ourselves healthy.
Yeah.
Take care of our bodies. And our political body is part of that, plays a role in our own individual lives. So if we want to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves, we got to make sure that we're taking care of the state of our community. We all need to be more alert about what's going on. Definitely. I read a report about the homeless community not being addressed at all, even though it's 2 years after Newsom has been in office, and he's still yet to do anything. We all need to do more right now. Kill a real nigga says, much love, y'all. Much love to you, brother, man. And I'm get out of here on that, because we got shit to do today. But we thank you all for being here. All of the comments, Yeshua, Miss Waggy, Linwood Jones, Krista Wildstar for dropping off the food, all of that good stuff. And thank all of you out there that were watching and that didn't say a word. Please definitely spread the word, as I said, by sharing this video. Jump on my social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you haven't already, please connect with me there and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're watching out there on YouTube, be sure to hit that bell, subscribe, and share any and all of my videos. Okay, let's make this happen. Spread the word of liberty and freedom. Bye-bye, Carlos. They brought the Coliseum to our hands. Tell me about it. All right, so next time, you guys take care. We're up out of here, all right? Peace.